Ladies and gentlemen, it's a proclamation from across the nation, constipation, no anticipation. Welcome on board, ladies and gents. It's the prodigious, the prominent professor at P&G. Brexit on a dish.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's proclamation news and governs. It's with the prodigious, it's the prominent professor at P&G. Why get involved? We get involved in politics. We know where to start. Party politics, people politics, healthy ecosystem, solution to our environment. Talk about hydro projects, anything. You want to take a part. You want to have your voice heard. You want to get involved in environmental friendly and stop pollution to businesses, such as all kinds of business, farming, pollution of the air. You want to get involved. You know where to start. Well, I'll give you a bit of detail. Firstly, please subscribe, share. I want more subscribers, more followers. It's the prodigious, the prominent professor at P&G. How to get involved? Speak to one of your local constituency MPs. I'm a Conservative trainee councillor at the moment. I'm looking at all business, the sociological side of things in business. How does it interrupt in our business? Maybe their business too close to a suburban area in a state of criminality. Anyway, if you want to become a member, as a member, you can play a key role in the party, supporting the work we're doing in government and contributing the ideas, policies and future of the party. You'll be invited to join us at party conference and to attend local and national events. And if you just join us, once you've been a member for 3 months, you can also take part in the party elections. To reduce our environmental impact, we are no longer issuing plastic membership cards. Please be assured that this does not impact your membership. You'll never be asked to provide your membership. Our members are our most important campaigners. Your support is enabling us to build a brighter future. It's only about, I think it's £25 a year. I think it's £2 a month. You pay it a month. You feel you like that, have a takeaway at the weekend, or have a takeaway once a week. It's nothing, is it? It's nothing at all. Or go to the pub, spending money on, just cut down the activities. You want to help have your voice heard. It's very important. What your membership gets you, does it get you fish and chips? Well, what's it get you? It's very important to subscribe to Proclamation News and Gather. It's giving you the key evidence of what's entailed of signing up with a party. I'm Conservative. I always say it's bona fide Conservative, working on progression. You can help us win elections. All of your subscription goes towards our campaigns. You can get the latest from inside the party, with regular member updates and exclusive member invites. Take part in our campaign groups like our Conservative Women's Organisation, the Young Conservatives, or Conservative Friends Group. Meet like-minded people and make a difference to our country. Influence party policy by giving feedback on policy and the briefs. Choose candidates and vote for leadership elections, so you can choose the people you want to represent you. Come to party conference and spring forum. Join our MPs, councillors and activists at the biggest events of the Conservative calendar. Connect with local Conservatives as a member. You'll become part of your local association, support local campaigns and attend social events with members just like you. So it's, being part of something, it's like, supporting your local football team, supporting the whole environment. Talk about supporting the government. It's being part of something. It's very important to be part of something. You want to be something, you want to go somewhere, so you need to wake up and pay attention. Stand for election as a member. You have the opportunity to stand for election as a Conservative. So if you decide that you want to take part in that democracy, you can. This is Proclamation News and Gavin with the prodigious, the common professor at P&G, ladies and gents. Help share and subscribe. I need more listeners. You know, I put a lot of entertainment onto my YouTube channel, singing, all kinds of entertainment, a bit of comedy. I've had a bit of comedy in the recent past. It's worth following my YouTube channel to get an insight. What's it's good content. It's good. I've got a lot of segments on my YouTube. You know, like an entrepreneur as such. You know, I've got singing, rapping, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to bring a wider audience into my YouTube channel. It should be a YouTube channel with massive gatherings, but not enough subscribers. So the more subscribers, the more benefit is for me. This is a business, a small growing business. It needs to be backed by the exchequer with a big paycheck, and we get this ball rolling. This is proclamation news and gatherings for the prodigious, the pomp professor. This has been going for over 2 years now. Media study since 1994, 95, I believe. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the time of day. Make sure you tune in. I'm going to be following through my live content just shortly. Take care, my love, and speak soon.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the PNG Proclamation News and Gatherings.
You've deferred your debt payments because
Yeah, it's a peasant, it's prodigious from Professor PNG. Welcome on board to Tuesday, the 24th of the 11th, 2020. Absolute phenomenal. We're actually coming through on Castbox, and we've got a listener on YouTube as well. I was hoping I could build my YouTube a bit more following, a bit more subscribers. Same name on YouTube as I'm on Castbox, ladies and gentlemen. You can see a live visual of me sitting in my little mini studio I'll be having at home here. Thank you all for listening. Let's go into what's going on in today's reports. Thank you, guys. If anyone wants to debate, feel free. Feel free to throw a debate. Do you do your laundry at home? If you're male, do you do your laundry at home? There you go. Answer that query and why. Do you or don't you? Do you do your laundry, or does your girlfriend, your mum, or your nan? Do you do your dirty laundry, or you too idle to do it? Boris Johnson had strong WFH energy in his major COVID speech. There was laughter in the Commons as the Prime Minister, who was self-isolating, appeared to have been muted at 8. Boris Johnson today faced the question that has become familiar to so many in 2020, are you muted? The Prime Minister was not taking part in a family quiz, but giving a statement to Parliament on the government's coronavirus when his video sound cut out. Neither he or the Commons accepted responsibility for the technical problem, with both sides blaming each other. Johnson is self-isolating, as we know, having breakfast with COVID-stricken Tory MP Lee Anderson, so had to update MPs by video from Downing Street. But as he was answering the question from the fellow Tory Mark Harper, the sound went dead. The chamber erupted with laughter as Speaker Lindsay Hall made several attempts to gain contact with Johnson. Have you pressed the button, Prime Minister? He asked, but silence ensued. One MP could be heard to joke, "He's not paid the electric," while others begin to laugh. Hoyle continued, "Have you pressed the button by mistake? Are you muted? It's not our end. Prime Minister, it could well be yours." He then suggested the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, he could step in and continue the debate. The two cabinet ministers seemed unable to decide, leading Hoyle to add, "Is one of you going to do it or not?" It's not looking at each other. What do you think about the Priti Patel bullying report and Boris Johnson protecting? Boris Johnson's doing the right thing, isn't he? Boris Johnson is doing the right thing, protecting one of his absolute secretaries. One of his top secretaries. She needs to stay in her job. Just after Hall suspended proceedings and echoed Johnson, it could heard saying some problem without the sound. When the House returned, Hancock started to answer the question on government's plan to replace England's national lockdown on December the 2nd With a new tiers of 1, 2, and 3, several people on Twitter poked fun at the hiccup. I mean, this tier 1, 2, and 3 open up the hospitality sector. Oh, mate, I can't get my head. Why would you open the hospitality sector? It's all well and good that we all want to go and have our festive fun, but after Christmas we're going to be in lockdown again because the level R thing's going to go up. You know it is. You know exactly what we're in for. Oh, we can open up for Christmas, but then we can close down for further 2 months after. You know, really, you know, frustration. Anyway, Pippa Sabah. Boris Johnson sound that drops out. Matt Hancock declines to step in. Speaker suspends the comments. PM shouts. Some problems with the sound. It is 2020. Self-isolating Boris Johnson suffers a second failure as he tries to answer the question in House of Commons, prompting one Labour's to shout. He's not paid the broadband bill. Perils of virtual parliament. Boris Johnson speaking to the Commons for number 10 in self-isolation suddenly loses sound. Have you pressed the mute button, Prime Minister? The Speaker, Lindsay Hall, asked the silent PM. But Johnson, when finally returned, insisted, for the record, the problem does not appear to be our end. So I hope that people do not think I'm in any way trying to avoid scrutiny from honourable members. You think how, ethical I am sitting there when this is on popping. I'm doing the same thing day in, day out. Getting new people, all walks of life to support the show. Anyway, I'm going to get, I'm just going to crack on with my thing. I'll come with this through, don't worry about it. So, Joe Biden lights up the internet with just 3 letters on his new website. This may be the sure sign, yet the formal transition is underway. President-elect Joe Biden on Monday shared a tweet showing off a new website from his transition effort, and his supporters are excited by the just 3 letters in the URL. The new site, buildbackbetter.gov, is one of the first visible signs that formal transition is now underway. Hours after the General Services Administration finally signed off of giving Biden's team access to the resource it needs to begin the process. The website itself is fairly standard with information about the incoming administration, its priorities, the transitions, efforts, and more. It also has a place to submit resumes. By giving Biden and GSA Administrator Emily Murphy delayed the transitions for weeks, and President Donald Trump waged a legal war against the election results. Biden support celebrated the new Gov domain. What do you think about Biden? I find him, I don't know. He's not my cup of tea, that's all I can say. I don't know too much about him. I don't really listen to him on the TV. If I see him on the TV, I'll switch him off. He's not a bad smell, isn't he, Biden? I'm more Trump. I'm more of a Trump supporter. More of a Republican. I'm a United States of America. I'm a United Kingdom. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm a Republican. Government set to pass new laws to cut UK overseas aid budget. I'm all for my country. I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. The government is planning to pass new laws to cut Britain's overseas aid budget. The BBC has learned it has raised fears among MPs that the reduction could be permanent. Absolute capitalism. That's what I am. This has been a speculation. The Chancellor was proposing a temporary one-off cut to help pay the government's record deficit. A government spokesperson said UK is and will remain one of the biggest contributors to aid of any country on earth. They said the country should be incredibly proud of what Britain does to support people around the world. The idea behind a temporary cut was to reduce aid spending next year to just 0.5% of national income, down from the legally binding target of 0.7%. But the BBC understand that Rishi Sunak's reforms will require new legislation to be passed by Parliament, which MPs believe implies a permanent cut to the aid target, or even its abolition. Abolition. The issue is that 0.7% baseline for Britain's aid budget is enshrined in law by international development of Official Development Assistance Target Act. I mean, what you're doing at home, you're doing a bit of washing up, you're doing your cleaning. Now you listen to P&G over the radio. It's not a bad thing, is it? I think, you're learning a bit of, it's a gentleman's sport, not being feminist, but, doing your, like ladies doing the laundry, you got a sophisticated radio cast on. Put it on, chill out, relax, get involved, see what's going on around the world. This is updates every day. This does not allow the government to miss the target in certain circumstances, such as there is a substantial change in the country's national income. Foreign and Development Secretary Dominic Raab is simply required to lay a report before Parliament explaining why he has missed the target. Thank you, Yayo, for holding this up, the show. Well done, buddy. But there's a growing belief at Westminster that the exemption can apply only retrospectively. The Act places a duty on Mr. Raab to ensure 0.7 target is met. If he misses it, the Act requires him to describe what steps he has taken to ensure the target is met the following year. Some MPs and charities believe these two provisions mean the government can declare in advance its intention to miss the target without breaking the law. To cut the aid budget without fresh legislation might lay the decision open to the judicial review. A judicial review, almost like a sort of review, isn't it? MPs also allow that one-off cut to a target of saving about 4 billion would hardly touch the sides of 350 billion deficit projected for this year. They say it only makes sense for the Treasury if this cut is permanent. They also believe if the government is going to reduce aid spending and face significant political and international criticism, ministers will be tempted to go whole hog and scrap the target entirely. Almost 200 charities, Yao. 2 former prime ministers, opposition parties, church leaders, ex-heads and of armed forces, global philanthropists have all out against the cuts. I'm a global philanthropist. Where's my support? Come on. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, has urged Prime Minister Boris Johnson not to go ahead with cuts, saying that helping the world's poorest is one of the great moral and ethical achievements of our country. We are Republicans, Bojo. Come on, we need our wages. The risk of the government is that passing new legislation will give critics of the aid to cut the chance to oppose and potential block the changes in Parliament. Come on, Boris, do something great for the United Kingdom. Although the government has working majority of more than 80, it has seen a number of rebellions of the late. One senior Tory MP said defeating the government on this would be entirely doable. Such is the scale of the reforms to aid the target that Mr. Abe is expected to make a statement to MPs about it on Thursday. Absolutely phenomenal, ladies and gents. I'm absolutely really enjoying this class. Thank you, Yao, once again for holding the sharp. Everyone on Castbox, make sure you subscribe to PNG on YouTube as well. But globally, all over the globe, in with Mr. Yao. Got people subscribing to PNG on YouTube, Castbox, Podbean. We're on radio casting me, Yao. A man like Yao's there holding the line up. We're going to have a little chat and a debate shortly. Police probed after black woman punched during arrest. This is shocking. Look, police probed after black woman punched during arrest. Why did they punch a black woman? Oh my goodness. The colour of her skin's published in propaganda. Oh my goodness. 8 officers are investigation after a black woman was pinned to the ground and punched during arrest. The Metropolitan Police was confirmed. Doesn't matter what colour the skin is. A woman got punched. That's all we need to know. A woman should get punched in the face. That should be the subjectory that I should be looking at, not colour of her skin. It's probably 5 policemen, one of them being black, one of them being blue, one of them being white. But was that mentioned in the propaganda? No, it wasn't. It's just the colour of the victim. Why mention the colour of the victim? Is it necessary? Is it necessary? Because it's making a segregation that doesn't need to be made. And it's just, there you go. The woman has told BBC she feared for her life as she says the police subject her to a further violence in custody. Ah, details in probe are made public after Newslight investigation. Mobile phone footage of the woman's arrest, which happened on the 9th of May after officers pulled her over a car in southeast London, shows several police officers physically restrained the young woman, who is a student in her 20s and had been a passenger in a car. One female officer can be seen repeatedly striking a woman. I mean, it's a bit much. Police officers striking a woman, but was she a threat? Did they need to use level two force on the lady? You know, we haven't got no qualitative evidence that she should be hit or shouldn't be hit. So I can't make no vision. I can't make no examples when I have no vision. In a statement, the IOPC said 8 officers have been served with notices advising them they are subject to investigation, with 6 officers at misconduct level and 2 officers at gross misconduct level. Details of the IOPC probe into the statement of the woman have been made public after an investigation by BBC Newslight. Into the new way she was handled during the arrest, Janet, not her real name, told the programme she has been working on an essay and went to get a takeaway, where she met an old friend with whom she ended up driving to a cash machine. While there was a passenger in the man's car, it was pulled over after officers allegedly noticed that it had been driving erratically. The driver has since been convicted of drink driving. Janet told BBC Newsnight she was pulled out of the car by an officer before it had come into a complete stop. I just remember things turning out like they looked a bit radioactive to me because I knew that I was losing consciousness. She says she told me the female police officer who punched her the officer was holding her down and was killing her. She says that the female officer smirked and responded, "If you can talk, you can breathe." Jan was arrested on suspicion of obstructing a drug search. She says she was lifted up from the street by her handcuffs and hair braids, causing her to be ripped out her scalp, and was carried to the police van. Inside Lewisham Police Station, she was subject to further violence, and during a strip search, which happened in presence of the male as well as other female officers, something against police regulations. This is good they're making an example of this because, yeah, they need their privacy. They, they, they didn't even tell me why they were going to strip search me. It literally just happened when in presence of the male and female officers with cell door wide open, so people were passing. She claims this was done to humiliate more, dehumanise me more. Once stripped naked, Janet says she was subject to more violence during which one police officer punched her repeatedly, very, very, very hard. There was a lot of intensity in her. Janet said she resisted as she had recently had surgery on her stomach and was worried about the pressure they were applying to her while she was on the floor. Use force. The statistics used in the arrest, such as handcuffing, restraint and hitting, are known as use of force. All measures of officers are permitted to make under certain circumstances. However, in the senior public police figures who have seen the video of detention of their woman told BBC Night the level of force and the number of officers applying in this case seem unusual. BBC Newsnight has obtained use of data for 37 out of 44 police forces in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. During the lockdown months after April and May 27, out of 37 police forces saw a rise in use of force compared to the same months in 2019. This is qualitative data made out on the police. Police make qualitative data on evidence of people making crime. It's getting done back onto them as well. Police are absolutely amazing what they do, same as the NHS. But everyone makes mistakes. Doesn't matter what job role you do in life. That's what you got to remember. When you're discriminating anyone against their job, they're just putting baked beans on the table for their loved ones. They're doing a job. They're doing a grand job. I'm doing a grand job. Some of you might not admit it, but I'm on here religiously every day. It's phenomenal work. It's hard work. It's no different from working in a telecom signaller or radio signal in the army. I'm sitting here giving you the updated news. And let's be honest, I'm quite optimistic, quite pragmatic. You can't sit and say I'm inappropriate, incompetent, incomprehensible. You know, I've got a few gifts, and it's not a gift to the gab. It is a gift to the gab, and it's a gift to the jab, absolutely. But I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm talking about. I've got a good face for the radio. I've got a good voice for the radio, and it's a prodigious upon professor at PNG. Home officers figures in England and Wales show black people are approximately 6 times more likely to be subjected to use of force than white people. A disparity that does not apply to other ethnic minorities. The woman whose story features in the BBC Newsnight report has not received an apology from the police. All charges against have been dropped. The Metropolitan Police have said all police officers are fully aware they will be asked to account for their actions. Officers are not to expect the new law, nor would we wish to be. The Met continues to cooperate the RIPC's investigation team to ensure that all facts are established. 8 officers are under investigation in relation to this incident, 2 of whom have been placed on restricted duties. The IOPC said, use force of essential policing tool and like all police powers must be used properly, proportionally and responsible. We are examining the circumstances of the woman's arrest and the use of force on her. Our investigation is also looking at women's subsequent treatment in custody. As part of the investigation, we have already taken a statement from the women. It added to uphold public confidence in the police complaint system. We are investigating the use of stop and search tactics in this incident and whether the actions of those officers were appropriate or proportionate and followed approved police policies. We are also investigating if racial profiling or discrimination played a part in the incident. This incident took place in a public view late night and was probably witnessed by passers-by and members of the public. We would ask anybody who was in the area of that evening saw police activity to get in touch with us regarding the use of force figures. The Home Office told BBC Newsnight, we are clear as the force could be reasonable.
Of the pandemic, your interest is mounting up.
Proportional necessary, and no one can be subject to be based on their race or ethnicity.
Out of control debt is crippling families.
Hi, buddy.
Because most people don't know that
I'm just, I'll be reading a bit, but I've got a little bit more radio to do.
To be honest, most of us struggle to make our monthly payments because interest rates and penalty fees are designed to keep us in debt.
Yeah, I've got a bit of radio to do.
Because the system is designed to keep
It's Matt Hancock. Hang on. Yeah, it's Matt Hancock. I'm just doing.
Matt Hancock,
yeah.
I'm familiar with him, for sure.
I Tony, my friend Tony's always support my show. I'm on YouTube, I'm live on YouTube. Food. Let's have a little chat, Tony. We're live on my YouTube. You're live on YouTube, buddy. So yeah, you're live on my YouTube, buddy. What have you got to say about Texas? You're from Texas, I take it.
Yes, I am from Texas, and I'm a chef. I love to cook. There's a lot of cool stuff that goes on in Texas. We're all excited about what's going on as far as Texas, the holidays. Some of us here in Texas, we're kind of like still spending the holiday, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it's like, listen, we've been doing this for years, and just because some pandemic shows up doesn't mean we're going to let it kill our joy or something that we've been celebrating for years.
As your food famous Texas, if I invited you over to the UK and I had my mate Tony Angel around, what would be your favourite dish to cook? Me and my friend. He's listening in on the YouTube. We're just wanting to know.
From the UK, I would probably fix y'all some roasted lamb with
roasted potatoes, carrots, onions.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, Tony.
Served with red wine and some risotto. So
I don't drink, but Tony might. Tony, do you want a bit of wine, mate? We got roast lamb, potatoes. He said, sounds lovely. He's all up for that. He supports my show every day, Tony. I'm on YouTube. He comes supports me. It's good, man.
Nice.
It can hear.
Where are you on YouTube?
I'm on Proclamation. I'm on my bio. If you click my bio, you can see me.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, Proclamation News Account. Yeah, subscribe, buddy, because if I'm on live another time, you want to come in and chat, no problem. I'll do like debate. I hold debates. I'll talk about all kinds of things, really. I've got a few questions actually. I'll do questions from newcomers.
UK politics.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's me. That's all cool. What's
I
that?
don't follow UK politics that much, but
Same as US. Are you a Republican, are you?
am I a Republican?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, there you go. Then I'm the same as you, so you're gonna like my channel. I'm a conservative. Tony Angel said.
Very good.
My mate Tony said his sister lives in Texas.
My sister, all my family lives in Texas.
Yeah, my
I
friend.
had one sister in New York for a little bit, but
Yeah, my
now
friend.
we're all living in Texas.
That's what I meant. My friend Tony just said. Let's listen to this bubble, buddy. See what they said.
Hello, Pro. Hello, Food Lover Texas. How are you doing?
I'm mate.
Sorry for yesterday, lad. I couldn't come online because I was counseling the person who was under depression. Who is actually. And that took me long 5 hours to counsel it. And then, carry on. I'm here.
Good day.
As far as its foods, I'm loving it.
Good day to you, Mr. Mo. Hope you're good, buddy. I was going to ask you a call. I was just literally on my YouTube motive, so obviously I'm talking to Food Famous Texas at the time as well. I will come and chat with you. But yeah, so what's your plan for today? You're not working hospitality, obviously, are you? At the moment?
Yeah, it's we're off for the whole week, so.
Oh, okay. Did you ask you a few questions?
Sure.
How many hours in a week?
How many hours in a week as far as what goes?
How many hours in a week? You got how many hours in a day? How many hours a week? You got 7 days in a week.
Oh, well, that's 24 times 7. 25 times 7 is, what is that, 175? So 24, I'm guessing, so 175 hours. And that's 10 less. So I'm guessing 124?
168. In a month. How many hours in a month?
How does that? Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, Food Famous Texas. What's some good Texas food spots to go to?
How many hours in a month?
How many hours in a month? Okay,
Yeah.
So you just said a week is 168.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is multiply that times 4. And that will give us our answer, which is 8. 8 4 is 24. Wait a second. No, 8 and 4 is 32. So 2, 3, 6 times 4 is 24. 24, so 4 or 2, that is 2, and then 1 times 4 is 4, plus 2, so that would be 632.
Oh, not bad. 730. Not bad. How many hours in a year? I've got better questions in a minute. I've got better.
In a year?
Yeah, I've got better questions.
I put in a topic. What should I make the topic? Let's here we go. Let's do this.
brain teaser. Hey,
We'll call it
yeah. My friends here will give me credit for trying. At least you're not giving up. We're getting listeners in anyway, buddy. You're doing well.
oh,
You're doing well.
Dude, I am so sorry. My phone freaked out and I had to reset it.
Oh, that's okay, Courtney. Yeah, I was just. What's the difference between a brain freeze? Like if it's. Oh, I've got it. Never mind. You'll love this title.
Go on, sir. You know what? I'll tell you what, Tanya. Food famous, even. Food famous. You're very amicable, you know. But you get a lot of people to swipe right now and give up. You're doing good. Doing a grand job. At least you're trying.
Thank you.
It's nice to see people a bit patient.
I have 42 people. So what surprised me is I went from 21 to 42 in a span of. I was watching the clock, so either 2 or 3 minutes. So
here's another one for you. Okay, Green Tony. What's your name? That's Green Texas. Brain Freezer or Brain Breeze. Team Food Famous Fun Trip. There you go. That's a good one. How many miles is the width and the length of UK?
okay, you got to run that one by me again. How many miles?
How many miles in width and length is the UK, United Kingdom? From the widest point to the,
In length?
yeah,
Isn't it over 5,000 square miles?
I'm not talking square miles. I'm talking width and length separate.
Well, that's square miles.
No, I
In
don't.
width, because that's length times width.
I'm not doing width times length. I'm doing width and length separate.
Oh, okay, well,
At
let's
what
say
point?
if I was right, 5,000, so that would be. I'm going to say the length is 5,000 miles, and then I would have to say the width be 2.
Do you know what? Your miles are USA ain't that big. The length is 600 miles. The width is 300 miles.
Well, it's 5,280 feet, right?
No,
Is a mile. So
600 miles length and 300 miles wide. The width. US, the width for the US. Do you know that?
really,
Yeah, really.
that seems because I thought London was bigger than that. Wow. Okay.
It's not really. It's really. I can get from the south of England to London. It's about just over. I don't know, about 120 miles. That's
Okay.
That's a quarter of the way up.
So that's probably
that's a quarter up the way to
like
the UK.
UK, like the whole of UK or like USSR, if you will.
UK is small. US ain't even that big. United States got 50 states. That's not even that wide.
Yeah, that's. I mean, the only reason why we have big ones is because of Texas, Louisiana, and not Texas, Louisiana, Texas, Alaska, and California, and then of course Montana, and then Pennsylvania.
What is the width for the US in miles then? Give me that one, you know.
Huh?
Give me the width for the US in miles.
U.S. in miles, it's nothing. I'm gonna guess it's.
It's nothing to what you said about the UK. Nowhere near. No, the UK is like a lot smaller as well.
I'm gonna guess since it's 1,000 miles from New York to polite nautical miles.
It is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 1,500
It,
wide, not wide, tall, and then 3,000 wide.
No, the width is. I know the width is. Actually, width is longer. Yeah, width is longer than it is, isn't it? The width is 2,800. The length is 1,582.
I was short a little bit. Actually, I went a little over. I said pretty close.
I'm still trying to learn it in my head. I know the length and the width of the UK. I admit that, but I always have to look. I've got them written down, the answers. But I know someone asked me what the UK is. If I weren't on my way near my notes, I wouldn't know the answer. But if they ask me what the UK is, the UK is easy to remember. Most of my knowledge I store in my head. I talk about politics and these questions most days. But it's a bit of an odd number that I would do.
Hello, good morning. I would like to invite you to my Christmas podcast hour. It is at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we chill out, listen to music, and have fun. You can enter in to win a Christmas prize giveaway. All you have to do is
I've got to get stuck. Good morning. Good morning, buddy. Bit busy.
my Federica's.
Hi, Zara. Are you right, Zara?
Oh, I was talking with Gears. What happened for that?
I don't know. Maybe you clicked left or right, perhaps. Not sure. Now you got me. You poor soul.
Yeah.
Where?
I was searching
What's happened?
Instagram.
What's happened? What's happened?
Maybe she.
What's happened,
What?
dear? What's happened, dear?
What do you mean? I can't hear you.
COVID-19 plan Christmas travel carefully, says Grant Shapps. See that? For Christmas, ladies and gents. COVID-19 plans Christmas travel carefully, says Grant Shapps. Christmas travellers should plan journeys carefully and prepare for restrictions on passenger numbers. Transport Secretary Grant Shapps says. He said there will be more random to visit loved ones next month, as all 4 UK nations very close to agreeing rules of festive gatherings. Announcement could be made on Thursday or perhaps sooner, he said. It comes as Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed tougher tier curbs once England lockdown ends. That's a bit peculiar, isn't it? You get peculiar interest sometimes. Where it is? There it is. Gyms and non-essential shops, all part of England, will be allowed to reopen from the 2nd December under a straightened 3-tiered system. Regions will not find out which tier they are until Thursday, and the decision will be based on a number of factors, including case numbers, the reproduction rate on the R number, and the pressure on local NHS services. Speaking about domestic travel during the festive period, Mr. Shapps said the government would have asked people to take a close look at any proposed journeys and routes they are taking amid pressure on services. He urged those travelling on public transport to pre-book tickets as the capacity on services remains reduced to allow for social distancing and as a result of the staff self-isolating. Andy Warren, very, very long planned engineering works may be scheduled on busy routes over Christmas. He told BBC Radio 4 today's programme, I would appeal to people to think very carefully and to travel their plans and consider they were going to travel and look at various alternatives available. Mr. Shapps, Hertfordshire constituency, Mr. Shapps, MP, politician. Yes, he is, Hatfield constituency. Mr. Shapps added that people who live in areas placed in the highest tier in restrictions in England should avoid leaving their region entirely. We are dissuading people travelling around generally for the very high tier areas, he said. One option discussed by the four UK nations would allow three households to meet up to 5 days next month. BBC Deputy Police Editor Vicky Young previously reported. Mr. Shapp said confirmation of the exact rules would come by Thursday when people find out which tier their local area will be in, or potentially before then. No Christmas Church speaking on Downing Street news conference on Monday to outline a COVID-19 winter plan, which Mr. Johnson admitted that Christmas this year will be very different to normal, as we already know the outcome. I can't say that Christmas will be normal this year, but in a period of adversity, time spent with loved ones, and ones is even more precious for people of all faiths and none, as he said. We want some kind of Christmas. We need it. We certainly feel we deserve it. But the virus obviously is not grant a Christmas truce, and families will need to make a careful judgment about the risks of visiting elderly relatives. It's got a break, ladies and gents. P&G on a break. You know how it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's proclamation news and governs. It's with the prodigious, it's the prominent professor at P&G. Why get involved? You want to get involved in politics, you know where to start. Party politics, people politics, helping ecosystem, solution to our environment. Talk about hydro projects, anything. You know, you want to take a part, you want to have your voice heard. You want to get involved in environmental friendly, stop pollution to businesses. Such as
Hey, Yellow Bella. Give me 5 minutes, Yellow Bella. I'll be with 5 minutes.
Well, I'll give you a bit of detail.
I am British, yeah.
Firstly, please subscribe, share. I want more subscribers, more followers. It's the biggest, the prominent professor at P&G. How to get involved?
Yeah, I'll talk to you a bit. What do you like about the British people, Yellow Bella?
Well, I don't know a lot, but I knew like what part of British are you from? I know it's all different types, but like, are you Russian?
I'm not Russian in the UK.
Scottish?
How can I be Russian in the UK, dear?
Irish? Oh yeah, tell me which one.
I'm Essex. There's no such thing as a Russian English, is there?
That's like Irish, yeah?
No, English. I'm English. Yeah, English is English. Irish is Irish. Scottish is Scottish. Welsh is Welsh. I'm English.
You're so British. I love it.
I am pop.
Are you
British.
what they call like Cockney?
Cockney, you mean?
Cockney, yeah.
I can be, but I can be very posh as well.
No, not can you be, but are you?
I don't know. I'm a bit diverse, really. I've got a multilingual.
Are you Cockney?
I've got a multilingual. I'm very posh too.
Look out of here.
I'm very posh too, madame.
Yeah.
Where are you in the US?
Well, I'm in America. Like I'm very American girl.
Are you a Republican? I take it. Gotta be
Can
sure.
you guess what part of America I'm from?
Los
My
Angeles.
accent.
Los Angeles. I don't know. Los Angeles.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
Are you actually?
No, I'm actually a very British girl. I'm very from like Cockney. I'm like from actually where you shaded from.
Where I shaded from? Where did I shade from?
The British side. Like I'm from Cockney.
You're from Cockney, you know. You're from US, you know. You're just copying me. Come on, Ben.
Okay, no.
You sound like from New York or Los Angeles.
I'm from America.
Yeah, I know you're from US. I know you're from US. I can tell.
And I'm in Paris and I had like British accent. Could I pass?
I don't know. This bubble, yeah, Bella. This bubble.
Hey, mommy, what happened? You trying to run away from me? You can run, but you can't hide. Get over here. Point back like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Get over here. You gotta bring that ass over here. Go sit on my lap. Sit on daddy's lap. What's good? You know, proclamation. Don't worry, man. Don't pay attention. Me and Yellow Bella, we had a deck on in the other room. We hear me. She tried to get away from me, but I mean, I had to pin her ass down. It's good with it, son.
I think
Can't run away from me, Eastside Harlem, nigga. Never. Let's go.
this come on, this ain't a dating app, is it? This is not a dating application, guys. Get a room. Get a room already. It's a radio station. You got to treat this radio. You got to treat this radio adequately. What time is it there? Late at night, isn't it?
Over here, it's like 4 in the afternoon. It's like early.
4 in the afternoon. It's 12. Yeah, it's 12 in the afternoon here.
Oh, like noon over there.
Yeah, afternoon.
Let me guess the British accent. Like, is it tea time?
It's shut up.
Is it? You wanker! Shut up.
Oi, talk to me like that. It's brunch. Time for brunch.
Don't talk to me. No, you don't talk to me like that. What the fuck?
Oi, language. I won't make that.
No, you don't dare talk to me like that.
I'm gonna get a soap out. I'm gonna get a soap out for your
Not without an accent.
your dustbin mouth.
No.
You can't talk with.
Bloody hell.
You can't walk.
I can't believe you think you can talk to me like that.
You can't talk to me. You can't talk to me potty gob.
Not porridge. No, not that porridge. No.
You can't talk to me potty gob. Come on, that's terrible.
And not without
Porridge.
porridge.
That's who has porridge nowadays? I had porridge since I was about 5. George some porridge, love. Bit about George porridge and some money. Oh goodness. You're funny. Too funny.